I get up at 4 a.m. every day, Monday to Saturday. I meditate, then I get into my morning workouts that are scheduled for the day, finish my workout, stretch, shower, have breakfast, and then I sit down at the computer. But when I talk about winning the morning, I am not referring to anything I just mentioned. The fitness routines, I've had those for quite a long time, but I recently made a small change to what happens when I sit down at the computer that has allowed me to move twice as fast in business. Today, I'm going to share that change and the systems and habits that have transformed not just my mornings, but my entire business. Because here's what I've learned. Motivation fades, but systems sustain. And when you stack the right habits together, those small daily actions compound into massive results. So by 9 a.m., I've been up for 5 hours, worked out probably 2, meditated, had a wholesome breakfast at the table, and I've started my workday. So how do I now get more done between 9 and noon than I used to get done between Monday and Wednesday? What does winning the morning actually mean for me? The key is, unless I have a delivery that I absolutely have to send to a client early in the morning, I don't open my email until 11:30 a.m. Why? Because your inbox is essentially everyone else's to-do list for you. So I'm protecting the most valuable real estate on my calendar, the time of the day when I'm the most creative and can get the most done. I'm protecting that by not opening my email first thing in the morning. Maybe you're like me. When I get emails, I tend to want to deal with whatever demands have been made of me right away. Let's face it, no one ever emails us to give us a hand. People email us to ask us for help. It's our duty to our clients to make sure that they're well served, and I always want to help right away. So I can spend an entire morning doing all the things people have ad hoc requested from me, and none of the tasks that I was supposed to be working on that day. Have you ever felt like it's 4 p.m. and you haven't even gotten your day started yet because your inbox hijacked your morning and then dictated different priorities? For me, and we have to know ourselves as business people, as professionals, and as individuals, for me, email is a treacherous trap and a trip down a rabbit hole that can consume the hours when my creative mind works best. So, to protect this time, I have an offline version of my week's calendar and daily priorities that I write down on Sunday. So I know what I need to focus on each day long before I even open email. I know that creative work requires me to focus. If I can have 2 uninterrupted hours in the morning, I can get an entire day's work done. So there are blocks on my calendar every weekday to make sure those best hours when creativity just flows through my mind. That's when I'm doing the important work, the client work, the work that builds my businesses and that serves my clients best. That work happens when my mind is fresh, not after I've been reacting to everyone else's requests all morning. But remember, I said this is a system, and not opening my email early is only part of that system. I came to realize last year that I was starting my day feeling under pressure, feeling overwhelmed, feeling genuinely fatigued. Have you ever felt like that? I wasn't physically fatigued. I had just gotten exercise, so I'm full of energy. In my morning, it felt like everything would flow beautifully until it was time to get to work. And then I could just feel the stress. And I couldn't figure out how to change that. Until one day, a friend of mine made a comment to me, and suddenly I understood exactly where I was going wrong. My friend said, "Mel, there's no way I could get up at 4 a.m. to work out like you do." And I said to her, "You're going about it all wrong. I don't have a wake-up time. I have a bedtime. If you went to bed at at 8 p.m. like I do, then you would have no problem getting up at 4 in the morning. The system works if you work the system. And as soon as I said it, I saw it. I had a system that was working beautifully for me so that my mornings would flow smooth until it was time to get to work. In fact, until it was time to sit down at my computer, I didn't have to make a single decision in the mornings. My workout clothes, they're laid out since Sunday. My watch has all of my training on it. I have my breakfast already measured. All I have to do is assemble it. And then I was sitting down at my computer, opening my email and letting that dictate what I was going to do next. I would have to figure out how I was going to work the things I knew I needed to be working on into this long, long list that kept adding up of things that needed to be done within the day. By 9 a.m., I had decision fatigue. So I asked myself, what if I applied this same system to my work? So just as I have my workout clothes laid out since Sunday, what if I have my priorities for each day outlined on paper before I ever sit down at my computer? Those non-negotiables that are really going to move the needle on business. What if I don't start my day with all of these decisions and feeling this sensation of decision fatigue? What if I start it instead with an empty mind? I no longer experience that sense of chaos from solving problems that really add no value to my morning. Just as I have a bedtime instead of a wake-up time that allows me to consistently get up feeling refreshed, I've now created a system that lets me prepare everything ahead of time so that I can start my day with energy. And this means that I have an end-of-the-day routine for work to make sure that I can ease into what needs to be done early in the morning. If, for instance, I'm going to write a podcast episode and record it on a Tuesday morning, I will have my recording equipment in place on Monday night. I will have my computers connected, my interface set up, my sound-absorbing blankets laid out, and I do an inbox zero at the end of my day because I know I will not be responding to people again until almost noon the next day. This system is what allows me to move twice as fast as the Melissa of 2 years ago. I'm no longer fatigued by deciding what to do. By 9 in the morning, I'm just already doing it. That means that by 11:30, when I'm getting to my emails, I've usually gotten at least 2 of my 3 priorities for the day taken care of. It also means that when the time comes at 11:30 that I do deal with the requests that others have sent me by email, those requests are not competing with what's really going to move the needle for my business. Every small decision we have to make depletes our mental energy. Every time that we have to hunt for something, or every time we have to figure out what to do next, we're using up the mental resources we need for our most important work. If your morning is optimized, the rest of your day will flow with double speed. When your morning is optimized, the rest of your day flows at double speed. When you get that productive feeling, that feels so great, that sense of sharp focus. You don't have to rely on willpower or motivation. By designing systems that create a sense of flow in your day, you actually don't need willpower at all. So eliminate decision fatigue. Set up tomorrow today. Lay out your clothes, prep your meals. Write down your priorities. Keep as much as possible offline so you're not distracted. Every decision you make in advance is one less decision that can derail your morning. Remember, consistency beats intensity. Making a small change and repeating it every day will compound into bigger results than doing something big every once in a while. What could your morning look like if you didn't start out with your inbox? Start building systems that give you your best time back and protect your energy so you can move twice as fast towards your goals. I'm Melissa Marchand, helping accomplished professionals build consulting businesses they love. If you know someone who starts their morning like they're fighting a losing battle, please share this episode with them.